What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new 2022 version of The More You Know. I'm your host, Brian Yu, and for this first show of 2022, I actually do not have a guest lined up, um, but I did want to kind of just give like an outlook of what 2022 will really have in store for me as an individual and for this show. So I guess in short, we can just say that these are my 2022 sounds weird to say still, resolutions. And I wanted to give like an outlook of how I'm approaching resolutions and how I'm kind of looking at all of these goals now because my episode, I think it was like 48, I believe, with AJ, and we were talking about our fitness goals. And one thing that really stood out to me, that really resonated with me a lot from that episode, was that when we were discussing goals, and AJ mentioned that these are New Year's goals, New Year, the emphasis on the year. And I know that it can be that a year sounds long and people don't really like the idea of results having to work so long for such results, but I think these are changes that are going to be made to my lifestyle, and I think it's a very good way of looking at how we see goals now. So one resolution that I have is to start making healthier choices and healthier habits. Um, this year, I kind of want to focus more on eating smarter and eating more organic, um, organic foods, less processed foods, and more of the naturally grown stuff. And that doesn't really necessarily go only for foods, but also for maybe soaps, deodorant. Deodorant's a big one because if you've been here all 54 episodes, you might remember my first episode was with my friend Nigel. Nigel has started a very successful natural deodorant brand. And in college, when we would always go to the gym together, we would always talk about our ideas, and he would always tell me about Breathe Naturals and all like the benefits of like what deodorant really is and how it gets absorbed into our body via our armpits and all that. So in 2022, I guess too, it's more about giving my body more love, whether that be mentally, physically, and via our foods. And I'm not going to tackle this instantly. These are going to be gradual changes because if you do too much at once, it can kind of give you a shock. And I rather move into this strategically and acclimate my body step by step instead of just throwing myself into the water. One, it can be hefty financially, but it can also be a shock to your body that you can respond negatively to or positively to. And for me, I don't want to risk responding negatively and having that bad taste in my mouth regarding this. So, just like with any goals, like you don't have to jump into everything all at once. It's sometimes better to take it slow and incorporate little segments of what you want to do slowly throughout the year, whether that be implement a new healthy habit a month, implement a new healthy habit every week, and then hopefully maybe by July or June you have everything implemented, and then you can live the other half of the year all like just whatever your habits or goals were. Hopefully for the rest of the remainder of the year, when you have everything incorporated, you can fully live out that resolution and goal and complete it. So that's one thing that I want to get into more. I think I'm gonna slowly make the choice. Like I've been looking back at my dieting lately, and trying to switch some things up now. Um, I'm talking to some of my friends and seeing what they have been doing. And one thing that I'm gonna start doing is incorporating more fruit in the morning, because for me, I am not really a morning eater. I can't really eat a lot in the morning. And I notice with anything carby like oatmeal or even like a smoothie doesn't really sit well with me. So I think I'm just gonna make a. I've been starting to try to make assorted fruit in the morning, and I had my first time today, and I felt amazing. Stomach was not mad at me. Energy levels were high still, and I was still full. So that's one thing that I'm slowly, gradually getting in the hang of, and that's kind of one thing that I wanted to bring up too. Is in order to really start and stick to a habit, you have to do it consistently for like a week or two, and that's when it'll really stick to you. And that's going back to the like incorporating things slowly, just make it a habit. Wait 1 or 2 weeks, do it consistently, and then you can live the remainder of your life from there. From a podcasting standpoint, I've been very bad last year, 2021, in scheduling calls with people and uploading in general, which I'm not really proud of, because I started the podcast out really strong. I uploaded every single week consistently, found guests, and had had the momentum working with me. But then I kind of took a break, and that kind of killed the momentum. And now trying to start back up at the end of last year, going into this year, it's very hard. It's been very hard to get the momentum going again. I'm not seeing my numbers go up as I would like, so every week or so, I try to go back to the drawing board, see what I can do differently, what new segments I could maybe add, change up my style, change up anything, just to see and experiment what will really work. But but this year will be the year that there will be 52 episodes released in 1 year, and I'm trying to figure out other mediums of how to get more people aboard. Either that be finding people to talk with, or and all that. Been experimenting with some ways to get the show out to people. I ran one experiment last week. It went pretty well. Just have to kind of review the data and see the results of it. But and I also wanted to bring up, we now have a Facebook page, and to please go check out the Facebook page, like it, follow it, and then you'll get all the bloopers, segments, full episode details, and anything will be posted really there. So if you still use Facebook, check it out, like it, and it would help me out immensely. And if you're not into Facebook, we also have an Instagram that I'll link in the description, and we have a website which I need to update still, moreyouknowpodcast.com, and trying to find ways to make that one more interactive and more fun, really. But it's kind of rough when it can be tough when you're working with the free version of a software. And one thing, and that makes me go into my next topic, was to learn new skills for the year. If there's one thing that I've learned, learning new skills can definitely make your life easier. Learning new softwares, learning new shortcuts in certain programs makes my life a lot more easier. So I've always had that curious mind, and 2022, I'm not gonna stop that. So I'm gonna try to learn some new software skills to make my life easier, whether that be podcasting, whether that be for career wise. But always be hungry for learning. That's kind of like the point of this podcast, is just for you to tune in every single week, learn something new, and maybe hopefully incorporate it in your life at some point. Whether that be you're meeting new people, they say, you know anything about Bitcoin, and then you're like, oh yeah, I actually just listened to a podcast about Bitcoin, or um, you talk to someone and they just started their fitness journey, and you just say, oh, I just listened to this podcast that they actually were talking about tips for staying on your fitness goals and all that. Refer them over here. That would be much obliged. And this is definitely not like my full list of resolutions. I feel like I'll probably add more to this later. But one thing also with that was to read more. One thing that I've been really slacking on is actually sitting down and reading a book. And I can't tell you the last time I really fully read a book, because everything is online now. And most of the information that I get are either from articles or just anything online, or that you can view on your phone or on your iPad. But I think it's definitely necessary to go back old school and go read a book, like a physical book, open it up, and sit down for like 30 minutes a day. I know that when I tried to do it, I got into the habit of doing it, but then I kind of just fell off that wagon. But it was very, very relaxing. And if there's one thing that I really want to get back into this year too, is more yoga and meditation, because our minds are always moving 24 hours. We're always thinking about something. We're always trying to make it some type of decision. We're just always thinking about something. And when I did yoga and meditation for a couple of weeks consistently, I felt less stressed, really, I would say. And I'm planning bringing on one of my buddies who's really big into the meditation, spiritual world, and kind of just talk to him more about this, because he is very knowledgeable about this stuff. So I really want to bring him on. But if you never tried yoga or meditation, maybe just start with one. Yoga, I'm gonna warn you now, it's pretty much a workout. If you've never done yoga and you're not flexible, it will definitely be a workout. So find someone on YouTube, find a video on YouTube, sit down in your living room and give it one session. I wouldn't really go for like a very high intense session, just a small 10 to 15, maybe 20-minute session. Meditation, I've done numerous episodes prior to this about meditation, and I would really strongly advise you to listen to those episodes, because meditation is not what you always think it or what you believe it is. It's a very different form of what you think it is, and I really strongly encourage people to go listen to my previous episodes talking about meditation and mindfulness, because like practicing meditation will really get you out of your own world and more into like a Zen world. I felt so much more at peace and calm and relaxed after each meditation session, and going into bed with that type of mindset very much helped the following morning. And if you guys want more details on that, I'll be glad to share in future episodes. But that's one thing I did want to talk about. It's just my New Year's resolutions, what New Year's resolution goals should really be. Just take it one step at a time. Don't try to dive into the pool, and take things slowly. There's nothing wrong with taking things slow, because I've seen some people who rush into fitness goals or any goal in general, and they just rush into it, and they get overwhelmed because they have this big checklist that they want to complete in like a week. but this checklist is meant for 1 year or longer, or a month or longer. So that's what I would just want to stress to everyone. But thank you for listening to this little short episode, hearing about my goals. Check out the Facebook page. I would love to hear everyone's goals, what they want to do different this year, what they want to do this year in general. Comment on a Facebook post. Sound off in the comments of my Instagram post about your New Year's resolutions. I would love to hear. And I'm looking forward to a new podcast season in 2022. We will be returning to our normally scheduled podcasts in next week. So, hope you guys all have a wonderful week, and I will catch you guys on the next episode next Monday.